kids? Raise your hand. How many of you are thinking of having kids? Anybody? See, I don't have kids because nothing about this says mother at all. And I also suffer from two very rare genetic disorders. One is resting dumb face. I always look like I just woke up and I don't know how I got there. And the other one is vaginal depression. And I think that's a little self-explanatory.
Yes. Every time.
But really the first time I knew that I never wanted children was the first time I got semen in my eye. I was like, no, shoots DNA at each other is just not for me. Luckily, I live with my sister because, you know, in this economy. And she has that two twins, that one girl.
She didn't know what to say in this economy.
So we're going to talk about them a little bit. But before I get into them, you know, I moved in with my sister about 2 years ago. Actually, it's 2 years ago today. I moved back to Central Coast. And so,
We are glad.
pretty quick after I moved back, one of my very, very close friends passed away. He was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and it was a quick passing. But living in a house with 6 people, you don't get any alone time. You don't get any time to breathe. So I found this beautiful window between the time I clocked out of work and the time that the kids got home from school. It was an hour and 32 minutes, and I was going to breathe like a son of a bitch. So I got a joint, a gin and tonic, a Benadryl, and a hot tub. And before you scold me about mixing substances, I just want you to know that I took the Benadryl because the weed gives me allergies, and I'm trying to be an adult here. So I'm in the hot tub. I have Lana Del Rey's Born to Die, if you know, you know.
Yes.
And I'm open mouth, booger, snotty, Kim K crying to the sky when I hear the sliding door open. And I look. And for some reason, my niece is home. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure this out. She sticks her head out. She kind of sees what's going on. She's like, oh, not a good situation. Pops her head back in. I was like, good. At least she got it to leave me alone. No, she didn't. She sticks her head back out, and she's like, Auntie? And here's where I think my lovely little girls can be like, oh, I'm so sorry for whatever you're going through. I love you. You're the light of my life, the best auntie in the world. No, this bitch looks at me and goes, hey, Auntie, I'm sorry you're mentally ill. I'm sorry you're mentally ill.
Fucking Adele.
I was crying about my best friend being dead. So, of course, I go, well,
R.I.P.
now,
Rob.
I go to the number one source for this, who's what I call the good twin brother. And he says to me, I got info, I got dirt. I'm like, oh yeah, I picked the right one for this. He says, $5. You get to son of a bitch. So I plop the $5 down, and he's like, I know her darkest secret, deepest, darkest secret. And I'm like, yeah, what is it? And he's like, she's a pole woman. Now, my niece is the reason there is that 1 hour wait before you go swimming rule, because she just like looks at water, projectile vomits, and it's just families running like they saw a shark. There's just kids crying, moms pulling their kids like, no, what? No. And so I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And he's like, I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. I'm gonna tell all her friends because it's almost summer, and then she won't get invited to any pool parties. Son of a bitch, I'm in. So he goes to school. 2 hours later, they come home. My niece is crying. Oh, nobody's gonna go to any parties. My brother told everybody my secret. I'm so embarrassed. And then she's like. Now, the thing about my little petty niece is, one, she's been hanging out with me too much. Because that is why she is so petty. And two, she's in for the long haul. She's not in for instant revenge. You know, she's in it for, you know, this is going to be worth her time. Fast forward a few weeks to the 4th of July. Now, we have a neighborhood 4th of July party every year. And at this 4th of July party, there is one of those little kid water pads, you know, made for the ages of like 2 to 5. Now, my 13-year-old nephew is like 160 pounds. It's just rolling on it like a piece of nail. There's kids crying. There's slides collapsing under his weight. They're looking at this like it's the Twin Towers falling. Why? And so I'm sitting there, 7 or 8 red, white, and blue Jello shots in, and I'm just watching this all occur. And my niece comes and sits next to me. She's like, "What are we watching here?" Your brother be fucking weird. And she's like, I'll be back. So she disappears, and of course, you know, here comes the host with a few more red, white, and blue Jello shots. And I'm just like, come on over now. And so I'm getting by saying,
Yeah, that
she
was
did not move from the couch all summer, but apparently this bitch is trained in modern warfare combat because she not only created a barricade of small children between the ages of 2 and 7 to block her from any danger, but she also hired a kid to hold her water bucket so she could refill her super soaker so she could shoot my nephew in the face. Meanwhile, she hired this kid who has his shorts up to his teeth and 2 inches of sunscreen on his nose, definitely with the body of like a 75-year-old person. She's wailing on my nephew with the boogie board. Like, I feel like I should stop this, but I can't. So it gets thrown, and they start throwing blows, and it starts getting ugly, and I realize that I'm the beginning of my niece's villain origin story. Like, it's only gonna go downhill. She's gonna suffer from a brief, eating disorder for a while. She's gonna go to therapy. I'm gonna be a few sessions. That's all I wanted. I just wanted her to remember who she was messing with. And so we throw them in the car. My sister's like, oh, I'm so disappointed in your behaviors, kids. And, they're yelling at each other. And they